Hello and welcome to Brimwood Farm. It's a rather wet day today, but it's also a very exciting day because the first animals are moving on to the farm and they're going in the aviaries behind us. So I'm going to show you the setup, talk a bit about the aviaries, and then we're going to let the animals in. So let's take a look at the aviaries themselves, and I'm going to just talk a bit about how we built it and what there is. I should also say, from a commercial perspective, we have overspent massively. This is luxurious. This cost over £1,000, and from just selling eggs and birds, it's going to take us a long time to recoup those costs. However, we love our animals. We want these aviaries to last for a long time. And so we thought, let's spend the money, let's make it decent. And as well, we can transform them in the future, possibly into bird of prey aviaries and things. So we wanted to spend the money on them. You don't have to have anything this luxurious for your pheasants at all, but we just wanted to. So the first thing is we've got 3 aviaries. They're in this kind of wooded area, which is really, really nice. But we did chop down a lot of trees, but we did leave one tree, and you can see just through that door there, the tree is in and it goes all the way up, so we've kept a tree in. And around the outside we've put a concrete footing in because obviously we have foxes and stoats and weasels and things here. So we've got a concrete footing all around the edge. Now I will admit it is a complete bodge job. You can see here how bad it is. We managed to get 50% right. So we've got this row right and then that back line right. But the back completely and this side we really mucked it up for various reasons. The first reason was I completely miscalculated and measured it wrong. So by the time we got the panels to the back, we were way off by about a foot. So we were a foot too short on the footing. No, we were a foot too long on the footing. The aviary panels didn't reach. The other thing was we didn't realise the extent of the slope on this side. So if I stand like this, the site slopes not only like this, but also like this. So by the time we got down to that back corner, the footing that was in the ground in the highest point was about 6 to 9 inches above ground. And it was just ridiculous. So if you remember, in the past when we were having a bit of a forage, we found loads of these old concrete posts. So what we've actually done is we got fed up and so we made new footings with these and we just laid them in. And actually I don't know why we didn't do that in the first place, because if you come around to this side and look, it's fine. It works really well. So that's the footing situation. The aviary itself was an absolute faff to put together. It came with basically no instructions, and all of the panels are slightly different. So this is a 90 centimeter panel. This is a 90 centimeter panel, but this panel is 92, and this panel in here is 87.5. So no instructions, and trying to work all of that out was a bit of a nightmare. Now if we go inside, you can see that Sard's done some great work landscaping. So we've got some plants and some branches. We've got the roof, so it's a corrugated tin roof. This was scavenged from what we could find on the farm. So it's not the best, it's rusty, there's holes, but it will give them enough of a shelter to get out of the wind. And eventually we're going to put some screening along that back wall as well, so they've got sort of corners to get into which are nice and dry and safe and sheltered. We've got some high up perches for the pheasants because we have found that the reeves do like to perch quite high. And then we've got some planting. So this planting is evergreen, so both of them are evergreen, which means that all year round, obviously they're going to look good, and they're tough because although we're putting pheasants in and pheasants aren't going to totally rip it apart, they will chew. So we've got New Zealand flax. This is really, really tough stuff. It does okay in sort of a partial shady position, which is why it's towards the back. And then we've got this castor oil plant. These are really tropical looking, they're great plants. And again, they are fairly hard, they're very hardy. They love a bit of sun, so they're a bit forward, but they're also evergreen and they should look good. So we've got 2 castor oil plants in here. In the middle one, we've just got the one here, and there's a New Zealand flax. And then the end one, I've just got New Zealand flax because I'm going to be temporarily housing my cockatiels and budgies. I've only got 6 budgies and I've only got 2 cockatiels left after the rat invasion. But we're going to temporarily house them in here. They would absolutely strip that castor oil plant apart. So we've just got the flax in here and they should be all right. So that's the aviaries. If you've got any questions about the actual aviaries themselves, just ask in the comments. But for now, we're going to go and get the birds and we're going to release them. So it's very exciting. So these guys are the remaining budgies and cockatiels. So we'll see if they want to come out. I'm going to have to get them out by hand. So I got the birds out because they were not wanting to come out. And we got the two boy reeves in here. So these two are for sale. They're a couple of extra males we have. Next door we have our second breeding male. They look a bit scruffy after being stuck in boxes. The budgies are happy. And here's our second male. And then these guys are yet to come out of the box. They're still hiding. So in terms of food and water, eventually we are going to get treadle feeders in here. And we also want to do a automatic watering system, collecting water off that tin roof into a guttering, into a butt, and then gravity fed down into cups. But for now, we don't have those, so we're just using the basics. So we just bought these plastic tubs really cheaply, so there'll be one in each of these end two aviaries, food in one, obviously undercover, water in the other. The budgies are going to have this feeder hung from the roof, and then the budgies we're using these instead for the food and water for the pheasants below, because obviously if a budgie fell into this full of water, it would drown. It would probably not get out, so we're using these instead. So we're going to get them fed, and hopefully they will settle down. They're all hanging on the mesh at the moment, and we are still yet to see an appearance of this trio. They came out. This is our main breeding pair. Look a bit scruffy because they've been caught, and unlike chickens, because they're game birds, when you catch them, their natural response is to shed their feathers because they're trying to get away from the predator that's just caught them. So they've lost a few feathers in the transporting process. This is our other breeding male. And these are our two younger males that are going to be, well, they are for sale. Him and him. A couple of budgies down there. And if we walk around the back, got the feeder for these guys up. And the roof is working well as well. So by the time we've got the guttering on, we'll be able to harvest this rainwater and hopefully funnel it straight into these aviaries. So it's the following morning, and we've just come down to check on them. And I will admit, I might have snuck down here late last night just to check everybody was all right. Mainly I thought the pheasants would be fine, but the budgies have this stupid tendency of going to sleep hanging on mesh. And I thought that is not a good idea when you're in a brand new place and there are predators. And actually one of the budgies was stupid enough to just be sitting in the floor getting absolutely drenched. So I'm glad I came, because I picked him back up and put him under the shelter. So we're going to see how they're doing this morning. I can see them all, so that's a good thing. So here we are on the approach. Please don't mind all my scruffiness. That will get sorted out eventually. Good morning. How are you doing? Oh, you've been shedding the odd feather. Let's pull that away. Hello, Adam. How are you? Ferocious as ever. Okay, I see. So you've settled in quickly then, haven't you? Yes. Where are your ladies? Oh, they're up there. Hi. This is the silly boy last night that was just on the floor. Ah, now do you know where the perches are now? Good. So everybody is looking very well, very settled in, which is really great. Another thing I should say, which is also really good news, is the holiday guests that stay in the holiday homes were already wanting to come and see the birds, which is a massive plus. Because obviously in the future we want to build our business around market gardens and things and going to farmers markets, but also upselling to people that are staying on the holiday homes, upselling them food and possibly experience days and things. So the fact that they actually already wanted to come across and see the birds is a really positive thing for the future. So that is it. The birds are here, and we've actually, I feel like now we have started our farming journey because we've got livestock on site. Over the next couple of days we're going to build the ferret court for our ferrets. The hutches are arriving today, and then in the next couple of weeks I'll move the rabbits up. The rabbits have just been vaccinated for myxomatosis, and it takes 2 to 3 weeks to actually give them the immunity. So I can't bring them up quite yet. They're about day 10, so I need to just leave them a little bit longer so I can be sure that they're going to be safe from RBHD and Mixie, because we definitely have Mixie on the farm. We've seen Mixie rabbits before, so they'll be coming up soon. The chickens and ducks also, they're kind of my major hurdle at the moment. Eventually, obviously, I'm going to have pasture-based chickens in chicken tractors, but for temporary measure, I was going to just buy a big shed and put the electric netting around the outside. Now, COVID seems to have caused a shortage of sheds. Nobody has any sheds, and if there are sheds, they can't be delivered till October, which is no good. So I'm going to have to cobble something together. I'm thinking at the moment the aviary at home, where these guys came from, I can cover the aviary panels in Wrigley tin. I can put on a wood base, and I can make a temporary small shed that they can at least be in at night, safe from foxes, and then they can come out to the electric netting in the daytime. So that's a project I need to get on with over the next couple of weeks. And then also in about 3 weeks, I would think, the goats and the sheep should be arriving. Very exciting times. Thank you as always for supporting the channel and watching. Please, if you've liked the video, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing for future updates. If you want to get some more information, come across to Brimwood Farm community group and join us there. You could also go onto Instagram, and if you really want to help contribute to the farm and get more insights about what's happening behind the scenes, come across to Patreon. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, stay safe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.